Yeah.
I said I'm dog sitting and I don't have that many clothes on. I had to put on what I had to put on.
As I have the privilege of staying out of it, like I can only imagine what it's like to be in a elected official. It's pretty gross, actually.
Oh, I'm excited.
I said, well,
Goodness.
I know. You know, the other night I was so sweet. The other day, I think it was Saturday after we had done the park singing and everything and all the running around that I did. I got back over to where I'm pack sitting and I was sitting there watching the TV and my eyes kept closing. I said, I'm going to lay down. I never take naps. I went in there and went to sleep. And that little dog jumped right up there with me and she went to sleep too.
Not really worth reliving.
Yep. I kind of took a 20-minute nap Saturday between all the running around.
Yep.
Saturday night, I was gone.
I'm game. Just watch football. Close enough to Halloween.
Saturday. Boy, Clinton. They got problems.
I watched it. That's what
Did you watch it? They got
That's what I
problems.
said today.
Not as bad as Carolina, but yeah. Good point.
Did Carolina win or did they lose? They lost too?
Everybody ready? Good evening and welcome to our council meeting this September the 22nd, 2025. We're going to start out calling our meeting to order. We're going to be led with our invocation by Chief Ryan Baker, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Huff. If you are able, please stand with me.
Good evening. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today with humble hearts. There's a lot of things going on in our country, and we just ask that you would guide us, direct us in our decisions, in our thoughts, and our actions. May we glorify you in all that we do. We ask for forgiveness for those sins that we commit every single day, and it is in your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
I smell coffee. Ivory, you got coffee?
We're going to set the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda. Mr. Reeves, second by Ms. Shoemaker. All in favor? Motion carries. Consent agenda, we have 2 items on the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve that. Ms. Harris, second by Ms. Shoemaker. All in favor? That is approved. Okay, our presentations. First up is Arts on the Greenway, the Lambeth project. Ms. Campbell.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Wanda Campbell, and I live at 508 Planters Way in Mount Holly, and I am the coordinator for the Labyrinth team for Arts on the Greenway. This started a few months ago, back in the spring. We all decided we were going to have a labyrinth, and a bunch of us got together a few months ago and decided we'd like to ask that the labyrinth be placed between Arts on the Greenway and Clarion, because you come right off the Greenway there at that little underpass, and you can come right up to the labyrinth. And we would also like to ask for a hydration station so the dogs can get some water when they come off the Greenway, and people can get a drink. The labyrinth would be an outside installation piece of art, reflecting the values of the city of Mount Holly when it comes to nature and art. The hydration station, of course, I just said, will be for dogs and for drinking water. The team once formed, thank you. The team once formed began to grow. I would like to recognize them directly at this time. Our labyrinth, of course, I'm the coordinator. Pastor Kara Stewart will be here later. She is the, let's see, here she is. Okay, she's the labyrinth expert. She's studied labyrinth for over 10 years. Corinne Kay, our president of AOTG, is part of the team. Jackie Lane, fine arts degree. Carol Ross, labyrinth sketches. Amanda Payne is the PowerPoint provider. Philip McGinnis is not here tonight, but he is our grant management person and has done a great job. I'll tell you about him in just a minute. Nancy A. Sipiter is here. She's with Premier South Realty, but she is an AOTG volunteer. She's always there to help out. And let's see. Jeremy Boss will be our maintenance supervisor for this project. Jonathan Blanton is the city manager and our landlord. And Brian DuPont, the assistant city manager, is also on the team. Now, Brian Kuczynski, who owns and runs Peaceful Ponds, he built an installation beside Awaken Gallery, you know, in that little place back there, and he put light, and it's beautiful. So if you want to check his work out, go over there and look at it. And I'd like to thank Emily Andrews for putting us on to Peaceful Ponds. If you're here tonight and you're on our team, please stand just for a second. Couldn't get them all in one place, but this is who I have tonight. Thank you. And guess what happened today? I'm glad I waited because things happened for the last 2 weeks. The Gastonia Gazette, Kara Frana ran an article about the labyrinth today in the Gazette. So when you go home, pull up your Gazette and look at the article she wrote. They said, the people that got to read it, I haven't seen it yet, said it was wonderful. So we want to mention that. Now for really good news, I got an email from Philip McGinnis, and he said, we were approved for the Gaston County Community Tourism Action Plan funding partnership request. So we have money there. So they will be funding a portion of the budget for the labyrinth. Also, he got the Visit Mount Holly will be funding the additional cost. And then he said, I had to sell more bricks. Okay, so we have bricks right here. If you'd like to get a brick and put your name on it, I'm gonna tell you, these bricks make great birthday presents. You can buy them and give them to people for their birthday. I had a friend that bought one for her dogs. And she said, for her kind word, it would be unconditional love, which is what dogs do. And we'll put a little paw print on the ones for animals if you want to put one on there for your dog or your cat. Also, let's see. Now, where have I got lost here? Wait a minute. We'll be funding the additional months from our sustainable projects budget line for the labyrinth. So it's all looking nice, is what he said. Now, a little bit of history. I told you that Kara Stewart will be here at 7:30 or 7:25. She had a class she had to teach, so she'll be here later. So she'll be around if you want to ask her questions, okay? But labyrinths have been around for over 4,000 years. I didn't know that. And they also, there's a difference in a labyrinth and a maze. A labyrinth is one way in and one way out, and you meditate, right? A maze has all kinds of dead ends, and you get lost. Anybody ever see Harry Potter? Okay, that's a maze. I know they called it a labyrinth, but it's not. It's a maze. You got all mixed up, and the things got after you and all kinds of stuff. Okay, thank you. There is a book on Audible about mazes. If you're really interested, it's called Walking a Sacred Path by Lauren Antris, and you can pull it up on there, or you can order it on Amazon. So that's a picture of the cover. Let's see. Okay. So this, can you see it? Yeah. This is what our labyrinth is going to look like It's a 3 concentric circle labyrinth, and it's going to be 40 foot wide, and it's going to be right over here in this corner next to the big green guy with the globe in his arms. And so that's where it will be, and we're going to put the bricks in front of it. Yeah, here's a better picture. The bricks will start here, and Jeremy will have to tell us, how close we can get to the road and all that stuff. But it's going to run past the labyrinth, and then I had a bright idea this afternoon. I thought maybe it could just run right over to our door, and we could just fill it up with bricks with positive thoughts, and go in that side door, and it would be a nice edge along the way. Now, in the middle of the labyrinth, the way Brian designed it, it will have a maple tree. And on each side of the maple tree, there'll be benches, so you can sit down when you get to the middle and just sit there and meditate, whatever you want to do. Then he decided he'd put 3 boulders in there because we're on the Catawba River. So that's to represent the river. And then he said, let's put miniature holly bushes around it and let those be there to represent Mount Holly. I know, I'm going to get there. Hang on. Okay, here's the maple tree and the holly bushes. I don't know if our boulders are going to be that big, but that is how our labyrinth is going to look. And in order to make it easy to maintain that labyrinth, it's going to have crushed gravel instead of grass, so you won't have weeds growing all over the place. So it'll be a lot easier to take care of. Okay. Now, we're going to put a little sign at the beginning of the labyrinth. It's very simple, and it will tell people how to use it. And you can see the picture right here of how we think it's going to turn out. They'd like to get to work on this as soon as possible. They'd like to have it done before Christmas. And with all that's going on, the guys are still working downstairs on the history place. They're parking over there. So we're going to have a lot going on over at Arts on the Greenway. Now, our bricks are going to look like the bricks in the police memorial because we want everything to flow and we want it all to be nice and together. Let's see. Bricks are $50. Hold that up, please. I'm going to tell you, this is our brick. If you'd like to buy a paver, put your name or your company or your pet or a gift, and under it, pick out a nice word to put on the brick so when people walk that path, they feel kindness. Bricks will match, okay, I said that. Bricks will continue also to be used as a fundraiser for Arts on the Greenway after the labyrinth is completed and will be added to the area accordingly, and we'll use that money to develop the building and the rooms and the gallery. Now, you can also, our artists can make these little handheld labyrinths for people to buy, and we also have artist journals. They say when you come out of a labyrinth, whatever experience you have, like some people write dreams down, they can write about the experience they had in the labyrinth. So all of those things will be in Arts on the Greenway. Okay, do you have any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Campbell? Comments?
Now, I think we're supposed to ask to have this approved. How do we do that?
You need to do this.
Do what?
Move to approve.
All right, so I've got a motion by Ms. Harris, second by Mr. Huff to approve. All in favor?
So we can start building the labyrinth. All right.
Yeah, at 7:30 when she gets here.
I'll talk to Jeremy too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is a public hearing to consider approval of a Fourth Amendment to the development agreement for Old Mecklenburg Brewery. Mr. DuPont.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a public hearing request by Old Mecklenburg Brewery to do a fourth extension of their development agreement. Just wanted to provide some background information. It's on 725 Elm Street. That is the address of the property. So in April of 2021, RFPs were solicited, received 3 submittals. Old Mecklenburg Brewery was the chosen group by the city council based on recommendation from staff. And then we moved into a development agreement, was approved on July 12th, 2021. The property was sold to OMB on March 31st, 2022. March 15th, 2022, the First Amendment was granted. March 27th, 2023, the Second Amendment was granted. And then last year, on March 25th, the Third Amendment was granted. Again, tonight is for a public hearing to consider the Fourth Amendment. The extension would be for a 1-year period to September 30th of 2026 and would allow OMB to hold a grand opening by December 31st of next year. Also have Jim Birch here with OMB he's going to give a presentation, has some information for the council, and staff and himself can answer any questions you may have ahead of the public hearing. Thank you. Jim.
Mr. Birch?
Hi, good evening. So yeah, Jim Birch, I'm the Chief Operating Officer for OMB, and unfortunately John Marino, our owner, couldn't be here tonight, but he has given me remarks, and looking forward to sharing some progress. The first thing that I'll say is that this project has taken too long, and you guys have been extraordinarily patient, and we sincerely appreciate that. Over the past 3 years, since essentially that first development agreement was signed, this has been part of OMB's long-term strategy, and we're fully committed to the city of Mount Holly and to everyone that I think has been looking forward to it, especially the employees, especially a lot of them live around here. And we're excited because we have additional property on the other side of the city with long-term plans to utilize that as well. So the good news that I'm coming with tonight, and the timing just happens to be quite good, is that we have finalized the negotiation of our general contractor agreement with Geis. It's a local general contractor based out of Denver, close to here. They have done multiple brewery buildings and restaurants. They're very well known throughout the town. We have the project within budget, which is the reason that this has been delayed so frequently. And we are literally ready to go. Bank financing is nearly in place. Most of what will happen early on when we start moving dirt is going to be financed by OMB. It's a $6 million project for the company, which is a substantial investment in the long-term business and in our commitment to Mount Holly in the long term too. So we're very excited. We also know that there's a good deal of frustration that this is the 4th time that we're asking for this. So the timeline, beginning, if this extension is approved, is that we have a signed contract before October the 1st, which is literally within a week. We're moving dirt because we have the permits for civil. We have erosion control. We have everything that we need. And we're looking at about 210 to 250 days, which brings us to a June 1st, 2026 grand opening, well ahead of the December opening. And ideally, really, that's our timing too, because we want to be open for the summer, and we think that that location kind of lends itself to the summertime. So I have some renderings too to share with everyone, if I may. These are the latest. Can you see that? Make it bigger. Okay. So a lot of the changes that we made very recently too were just to the grounds to make it a little bit more functional. This is looking straight at the entrance. For some reason, everyone's taking a selfie in these. Another good picture kind of the front. The beer garden is to your right. The Catawba River is to the right as well. The design of the beer garden is really to be, river facing. This is a view of the beer garden looking towards Dutchman's Creek, so kind of looking towards the northwest there. And then here's another angle kind of looking up from the side of the building. And brought some inside photos too, if I can find them. This is if you've been to our Loso location, the inside dining room is approximately the same size. That's the main bar there. Some custom chandeliers, a lot of wood to kind of match the river environment, and one more at the front. So I think I'll just conclude by saying we apologize for the delay. We would sincerely appreciate this extension, and we're ready to get going.
Okay, before we go into our public hearing, are any questions for Mr. Birch? Okay. Need a motion to go into our public hearing. Ms. Shoemaker, second by Mr. Craig. All in favor? We're in our public hearing. We have no one signed up for our public hearing. So I need a motion to go back out of our public hearing into our regular meeting. Mr. Meadows, second by Mr. Huff. All in favor? We're back in our regular meeting. Any more comments? Would council like to take action on this? Mr. Meadows?
Couple of comments.
Okay.
You've already addressed most of this, but I don't know, a couple thoughts come to mind, like disappointed, not keeping your word. You promised the community some things, and we continually get questioned about it, and there's kind of disbelief that it's actually going to happen. So I hope this time that what you presented is actually where we're headed. And I mean, it's a wonderful looking project, but pretty pictures on paper are not the same as an actual facility on the ground. Very disappointed in the company choosing to go to South Charlotte and skip us when we had committed to you guys and had other options for other people that have invested in our community and are doing quite well. So once you guys finally get on the ground, I think you'll do well, but don't quite understand why we were put off, and just wanted to get that in the public record. You kind of acknowledged it, but very disappointed in the way this process is going. So.
Mr. Craig?
Well, only comment I have, it kind of sucks you have to be here for this meeting. But I'd like to move to the extension to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Craig. I have a second by Mr. Meadows. All in favor? Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Birch. All right, next on our agenda, consideration of the Mount Holly Historical Society Memorandum of Understanding. Marie, you going to handle that? Ms. Anders?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So what you have in your agenda packet is a third amended agreement for the collection, preservation, and display of City of Mount Holly archives proposed between the City of Mount Holly and the Mount Holly Historical Society, Inc. And the fact that this is a third amendment reflects more the longstanding partnership and relationship between the City of Mount Holly and the Historical Society as it has evolved over time. The first agreement, and I'll refer to this as a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, was dated 2011, and that was the beginning of the formalization of this particular relationship, where the City Council formally recognized the Mount Holly Historical Society as the caretaker of the archives of the city, photographs, writings, artifacts. There was an amendment to that in 2014, which made just a few changes to the agreement in terms of office space allowed. The second amended agreement added the next door property at 129 South Main Street. The third amended agreement before you now comes 10 years later after the last change. At this point, the proposed amendment would be to change the location from the South Main location to 414 East Central Avenue, which is the address for the new museum space that the City Council previously voted to upfit for the museum and for the location of the artifacts. So if adopted, this third amendment would formalize that the Historical Society is the ongoing custodian of the artifacts and would be allowed rent-free the space at 414 East Central Avenue for the museum space. And that the city would relocate the archives to this new space at its cost on or before October 30th, and store any portion that could not reasonably be located at the premises, and that there would be no other changes from the original agreement as amended. Be happy to try to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Anders? Okay. Would council like to take action on this?
Make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Shoemaker to approve the MOU. Second, Mr. Craig, all in favor? It is unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Anders.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda is the city manager report. Mr. Blanton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. It is an exciting time and busy time here in Mount Holly. Over the past few weeks, there have been a tremendous number of events that we have participated in, that the city has facilitated. I want to share some of the success stories that we have experienced over the last week or so. Last Tuesday, we finally had our decommissioning event with Charlotte Water at our wastewater treatment plant. This was a project decades in the making that was very well attended at our wastewater treatment plant. After decades, we are finally online with the City of Charlotte 100%. We are not discharging anything into the river. We had Miss Angela Charles, the director of Charlotte Water, that attended the event with us last Tuesday. Angela and the City of Charlotte have been tremendous partners throughout this entire project. We were fortunate to have members of our local General Assembly. John Torbett was there. We also had representatives from Washington and Senator Tillis, Senator Budd, and Congressman Moore's office. Certainly want to thank them for attending, and certainly thank our General Assembly for providing $15 million in direct allocations for the decommissioning of this project. We had representatives from the City of Charlotte that were also on site as we celebrated this very important and monumentous day here in the city of Mount Holly. So certainly thank you to council that attended this event, and a huge shout out to our team at the wastewater treatment plant that will be here in a few weeks to be recognized for the tremendous efforts that they have put in over the past few years when there have been less than ideal circumstances to be working with. Also, today we had the good fortune to cut the ribbon at the Rise mural at Ida Rankin Elementary School. Thank you to staff and council that were able to participate in this event today. The artist was Sarah and Andrew McWilson, and they did an incredible job bringing that mural to life over the past few months. So certainly thanks to our Public Arts Advisory Council for their input on this project, and our staff for executing this vision of council. We also unveiled the Truist Mosaic. This was done by Thomas Thune and Patrick Robertson. The title of this mosaic is the Catawba River, and it incorporates many different areas of the city of Mount Holly's history into this mural that can be seen from South Main Street. So would certainly encourage you guys to go out, check it out if you have not already. And again, thank you to our PAC members and our council for approving this initiative. Also, there's a lot of buzz at River Street Park, where we are finally kicking off the bridge construction that will connect our greenways, that will provide additional connectivity to our trails. So if you're out and about and see a lot of activity at River Street Park, that is what's happening. We are hoping to have this project completed by mid-2026, and this is going to be a tremendous addition to our amenities and our public gateways. Also, the new water tower is up in the air behind Fire Station in the north. This has been a long time coming. We're hoping to go online mid to late October. This project has been going on for about 18 months now, so certainly thank you to Robbie Stewart, our utilities team, for working so diligently on this project. We are very excited to finally see that come to life. Also, National Night Out will occur by the time we meet again. That will be on October 7th at 5 p.m., so we certainly encourage everyone to come out and enjoy a night out with our police department. Also, on October 10th, Mount Holly Nights, our final event for the season, will happen downtown. And as was discussed a couple of months ago, and as Wanda alluded to tonight, the Buccaneers Ball, the fundraiser for Arts on the Greenway, will be October 11th. Certainly stop by Arts on the Greenway to learn more about that and to be able to support our arts community here in Mount Holly. Thank you, Wanda, and the Labyrinth team for being here tonight. We are very much looking forward to that project coming to life. A lot of great things are happening at Arts on the Greenway. We just finished up the mural. Bethany over at Arts on the Greenway polished that up a couple weeks ago, so it looks great. Great addition to our increasing vibrancy through art and placemaking core value here at the City of Mount Holly. I do want to note that we had a tremendously successful event, ribbon-cutting event at Ransom Hunter Park on Saturday. More information will be presented at the October regular council meeting, where we will share that success and share that story and journey. That is all that I have for council tonight, Mr. Mayor, but glad to answer any questions that council may have. David Childers will be inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. I believe that's October 16th, so we certainly want to October 16th. So we want to recognize Mr. Childers. He had the opportunity to play a couple weeks ago at one of our Mount Holly nights. Incredibly proud to have a Mount Holly native inducted into the Hall of Fame, and we will have representatives at the ceremony to share in that exciting night with Mr. Childers. We will bring back more information on that as well at October to celebrate the legacy, life, and the tremendous impact that Mr. Childers continues to make here in the city of Mount Holly.
Anything else or any questions for Mr. Blanton? All right. Mr. Huff?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn, a second by Mr. Meadows. All in favor? We are adjourned.
You're supposed to look at me. You're supposed to look at me. You're supposed to second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's our deal.
I know, I'm sorry. I figured I'd let somebody else say it.
Yeah, but you only got